Hey everyone, Mark here for another episode of Musings with Mark. I missed a couple of weeks. I originally said that I was going to do this every week, but really this is just an experiment. I have no intention of becoming a YouTube personality or someone who produces content every week or every so often. As a matter of fact, this could be the last one. I don't know. I'm not going to put an end to it, nor am I going to put any commitment that I will publish more or that I will do a certain number or series or whatever. But today I'm coming to you from outside of my house. So normally I'm kind of sitting in my office, which is right here. And that's the reason why is because I want to talk today about the influence of nature and the harmonious elements that are around us all the time that we kind of take for granted, or maybe we're not close to nature. And what are some things that we can learn from nature? What are some things that we can do to put ourselves back into nature? For me, I kind of grew up on a farm or like a smallish, outdoor ranch in Texas, and I spent a lot of time outdoors as a kid. But the system of education and work and all of that kind of stuff kind of put me into a place where I spent the majority of my life indoors. And working as an educator and working in computer technologies, that probably further isolates me. But here in Thailand, where I live, back in October of last year, I moved to live in a rural setting, and I currently live on a farm. Well, it's more of like a garden. There aren't any like farm animals. There's no well, there's ducks and there's dogs and cats and that kind of stuff, but we don't have a typical farm where we are raising chickens or raising goats or cattle or anything like that. And the farm that I'm living on is actually partially a retreat center for people who are looking to heal themselves and do detoxification and other things like that. But being a part of nature and living amongst the nature at the farm here is one thing that I can say that has really helped improve my journey and my path. And several things have come clear for me through experiencing nature firsthand. One thing is that I've started to kind of have a natural cycle of sleep. So I pretty much go to bed not far after it gets dark. So usually I'm in bed by 9 or 10 and up by 6 or so. So I have this natural cycle with the sun and the waking hours, which is quite nice. And I kind of just feel a bit more relaxed and ready to get up in the morning. Um, Lately, I've also kind of just been like walking around the farm without any shoes on, although it depends on the heat and also the rain, because I don't want to track mud all over the place or into my home. This house that you see behind me here is a house that I had constructed and helped a little bit with some of the construction, is inspired by a natural type of building, and the exterior and the interior walls are made from mud, and the home has no air conditioning. So I'm acclimating my body to live in this environment without the need for air conditioning. So at night, all I've got is a fan running, but the house was designed in such a way that it's got ventilation everywhere. As you can see at the top of this windows here, I've got these ventilation shafts pretty much all around the house, and it's a circular design, so air just kind of naturally flows in and around it. So living in a house and sleeping in a house that's circular in design, it doesn't have like the traditional corners and of modern homes, and because it's made of natural materials and mud, and then right outside the house, we've got little gardens, and I've got fresh bananas growing everywhere. I'm very close to nature. And then, here on the farm, we're on a dirt road. It doesn't even access, the main paved highway. Well, I mean, it accesses it, but we're not close to it. You have to take a dirt road, and, sometimes that dirt road gets overtaken in the floods. And so, we're living that proper rural life. And this week I was reflecting back on some writings of Emerson and Thoreau, who were, famous American naturalists and philosophers. And they kind of had the same things to say about nature. Thoreau even, went to, live in the woods and build a small little cabin and connect deeply with nature. And I still work a full-time job, and I attend school and do a few other things that keep me a part of society. So I'm not completely removed, but being in a part of nature has really helped me to settle my nervous system down. So, some people in science of some degrees, has this idea that nature has a certain resonance to it, an energetic vibration to it. And that resonance is disrupted when we're in cities, or when we're inside of concrete buildings, or when there's tons of electrical interference going on with that. So regardless of the science of that, and the frequency and the vibrations and all that, I can just tell that when I'm in nature, I feel a bit quieter, a bit at ease, and I also feel connected. I feel connected to what's going around. I feel connected to my surroundings, and it also putting me in a place where I feel less and less like I want to participate in the modern life, as you will. I don't really have any desire to go back and live in the city. Usually when I visit the city, I'm in and out. I have a specific reason. So we're about 40-minute drive from the main city, which is Chiang Mai, and which is where I moved to Thailand to live in Chiang Mai, and I lived in the city for a long time. But now I just visit the city for maybe visit some friends, or pick up some goods, and then I'm back usually very quickly. And I even have thought about how this will impact my career. If eventually I decide to take a job somewhere else, I don't know if I could move back to a city and do the regular 9 to 5 kind of thing, and work in an office building and wear a suit and tie. I've really enjoyed this kind of minimalist living that I have going on here, and I really wish that more people could experience this. It's affordable, and doesn't take a lot of effort, and it puts us out in nature where we can connect with the earth, and we have sunlight shining, and I've got a variety of fresh fruits and vegetables all around me, and being in nature with the dogs and the ducks, and we have a pond here which we can go and enjoy, we can swim in, and then there are mountains nearby that we can just hike up to. So yeah, it's just a really nice and peaceful environment for me, and have a lot of gratitude for this position that I'm in, and a lot of gratitude for my ability to be able to live in this environment and still maintain my lifestyle, which includes working and going to school. So yeah, if nature is something that's interesting to you, I encourage you to spend more time in it and see how it affects your nervous system. And before I've gone on hikes, or I've done a few things here and there. I might do a weekend nature excursion, and those things were nice while they lasted, but it didn't really have this long-term effect that I'm currently feeling from living at the farm for several months at a time. So to really get that strong connection, I feel like we have to have a lot of time in nature, which is difficult for people. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for listening, and stay tuned as to whether or not I continue this series. I've kind of learned a few things that, like, most people who do these kind of videos prepare a lot, and kind of even put together scripts and then do a lot of editing afterwards, and not really interested in any of that. And so if I feel compelled to share some knowledge or some information or some ideas in the future, I will share them here and let everyone know. But thank you for watching this or any of the other videos that I've posted. If you want to reach out and discuss more, I'm happy to do so. Thanks, and see y'all next time. Or not.